Mid-season patch for Operation Heavy Metal is out, or at least the patch notes are out, and I'm not going to stall any longer, so let's just look at these pick rates. As you can see here, here's the console pick rates. RAM is actually doing pretty good on console. Zero's gone up a little bit, it looks like. Kind of hard to tell because it keeps switching. But RAM is actually not doing as well on PC, which I'm surprised about, and everything else is kind of normal. Yeah, nothing else to really say here. OSA has actually gone down on console. I'm curious about that. Warden is still picked high on console. What about PC? Wow, he's actually not that picked as much. Legion has gone up. He was literally right here last season, so I'm happy to see Legion is getting some love. Legion's not doing that well on console either, which I'm surprised about. Jaeger is not doing hot on console, but on PC, wow, he's kind of the same. Jaeger has really fallen off, hasn't he? I'm kind of surprised. I don't think Jaeger is a bad operative, but Smoke has gone up in pick rate, despite his deployable shield nerf, which I'm curious about that. Here's the ban rates for PC on ban rates for PC. Warden has, funny enough, gone up. It looks like they're combining... Wait, what? Why did it just show Warden when it showed the top 10 attacker? Okay, whatever. Console pick rates. Capcan has gone down. It looks like Fenrir has taken over Mira on PC, which, wow, I'm shocked by that. Now, we're going to go into the operative balancing. Firstly, starting with Frost, it looks like. Players don't want to lose the ability to bait extra attackers into reviving the victim trapped in the welcome mat. Players are afraid that these changes will make the game more run-and-gun oriented. Teammates revive. Players caught in the welcome mat can choose to wait for a teammate to perform the revive if they want to, or do so. They will not receive the debuff when leaving the trap. This should grant... Okay, so this is just not... Here's the actual changes to the Frost mat. Welcome mat. Removal by teammate takes 4 seconds, was 4.3, no debuffs applied. Welcome mat removal by self-revive, 4 seconds was 2. If players remove the trap by themselves, a debuff will apply to them. The effects are as followed. 60 seconds of the limping will move 20% slower. I'm not sure if this was originally there or not. I can't remember. Won't be able to sprint. Will leave behind a trail of blood. Health is set at 20 HP. So that's it. That is what the Frost mat. So what we saw in the heavy metal test server is what we're getting here. But I'm pretty sure this 20% slower wasn't there. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. And here is here's the frag grenades that they were talking about. They said there were nerf frag grenades, and looking at this IANA change, I'm actually really happy by this. Gadget changes. The stun grenades will replace the frag grenades, but she gets the Gone 6 back, which that is the perfect nerf to IANA. That is exactly what I wanted them to do. I am so happy by this. IANA has been a comfort pick for a lot of people, but I think with the frag grenades, she was overtuned, and if they were to remove the frag grenades, which I thought they were just going to nerf them, that they should give her the stun grenades, because I feel like that would fit her playstyle a little bit more, and they give her the Gone 6 so she can still clear utilities but not nade people from below. That is literally the perfect change to IANA, and I love this. Now, the Finka, this is what I'm interested on, and we're about to talk about Gridlock in a second. Gadgets. Add frag grenades as a third option, but they remove the Gone 6. Now, this is a great change to Finka, because, one, obviously she needed it, and two, I just didn't like Finka without the frag grenades. Sure, the Gone 6 was good, but I don't know. I just didn't like it. I don't know what else to say. But I do think this is a good change for Finka, and it kind of softens the blow for IANA, because I know a lot of people are not going to like that her frag grenades are gone. But Gridlock, I was not expecting this. Frag grenades will replace the breach charges, but they will remove the Gone 6, because operatives can't have the Gone 6 and frags anymore. I didn't really think Gridlock needed this. I get if we look at her pick rate on PC, at least. Where is she? Oh, she's right here. Okay, so she's basically -1 win rates, and she's insanely low on pick rates. But where is she on console? Wow, she's actually pretty good on console. Okay, well, you know, this is gonna make her way more fun. But I don't know. I don't think she needed those frag grenades. Um, Here's Sen's. Their PFO9 is reducing the vertical recoil. Okay, so they're reducing the recoil. That's it. So it's going to be easier to control. And I think that's an okay change. I think the problem with Sen's was their gadget, but like because of how clunky it can be. However, I do think this is okay, especially for consoles. Like, if you're playing on controller, it's a little bit hard on PC. I can manage it, and I run the extended barrel. But I could not imagine what it would be on console. So, you know, I'm happy by that. And just looking at this, the Chaka is getting a pretty good buff right here with his LMG. His damage went from 49 damage to straight up 60. This is probably the highest damage base gun in the game now. Full auto, primary. Anyway. I mean, yeah, I think that's a good change. With how beefy his LMG felt, I feel like it should have done 50 damage. I'm not sure about 60, but a welcome change to the Chonka was needed, and I think this is good. Also, they have some here to say. Despite the high damage, the time to kill is much higher than the average, regardless of the enemy armor, because of the low fire rate. We have never increased it because we didn't want to go lower than 3 bullets down a player with an automatic weapon, but the recent changes to the extended barrel has proven that this is fine for certain operators. So with this change, the DP27 will be closer to other weapons with higher fire rates in terms of full time to kill of a full health operator, especially against the speed operators. And here's the list if you want to look at it. This one I'm not happy about, this Warden change. Warden is now a 3 armor 1 speed. And that's because the problem wasn't with Warden's speed, it was the fact that he had the 1.5 on his MPX, which is popular. And if you saw my newest video, the changes that would make Siege better, I talked about that speed literally does not matter in the game right now. Like, a 3 armor is almost as fast as a 3 speed. Like, it's literally in milliseconds, so this is literally going to do nothing to Warden. Now, obviously, people are going to pick him still, or pick him less, actually, because people think that speed affects you all that much. Like, in certain scenarios, being a 3 armor buffs you. I'm not sure about Warden. In terms of roaming, I think Warden is a little bit weaker now. However, as an anchor, he just got massively buffed, in my opinion. It's also funny that Warden basically just got bullied for, like, the last 4 years of Siege, because when he came out, he was completely useless, and then they made him a 2-speed, which back then that mattered, and then they gave him the 1.5 when Shadow Legacy came out, and so throughout that time, no one picked him until recently, so it's just poor Warden. But that looks like everything about this patch notes, anyway, which I'm very sad by this Warden change. Like, straight up, in my personal opinion, I guess the Frostmat rework is a little bit annoying. I don't think it's going to affect her all that much. I'm just happy it's in the game because we've waited like half a year now. But every other change besides Warden and then maybe Frost, I think this is a good mid-season. Like straight up, I think IANA needed to lose her frag grenades. I think Finka was better when she had frag grenades. Gridlock getting frag grenades is going to be a game changer for me because I love playing Gridlock. Sens's POF9 getting reduced recoil, hopefully making it a laser beam, because with that low of a damage, it should have low recoil. And I'm happy about the Chonka, because I thought his LMG needed a damage buff, or needed the 1.5. Now, the only real issue with the Chonka now is the fact that his gadget is clunky. And I might make a video about the Chonka himself, but give me time to work on that. But other than that, this is the patch notes. So if you're a Warden main, he's not going to really get affected. I'm just going to be honest, you're probably going to still play him. Especially since he still has the 1.5, I mean. But yeah, that's the entire patch notes. Let me know what you think about in the comment section. And with all that said, I hope you have a good day or good night, and goodbye.